Whitehorse Gold, and thank you for coming. We will be making some forward-looking statements here, as everyone else is. Whitehorse Gold was spun out of New Pacific in 2020. The Skukum Gold Project spent $13 million drilling 17,000 meters, 44 holes in 2021. The Skukum resource has just been updated. I'm not supposed to add these together, but I will. Inferred and indicated is about 934 grams per ton, 937 grams per ton, and an average grade of about 7 grams gold. In August of last year, we acquired 2 tin projects, and we are actually shifting from commodities, from gold to tin. So let me tell you a little bit about the tin market, because I don't think a lot of people know about it. So the largest use of tin is in solder. Every electric circuit board and everything electric in this room has tin in it. Your cell phone has tin in it, so solder is what connects the connections inside your electronics. Accounts for about 49% of it. Then PVC stabilization at 17%. Of course, the ubiquitous tin can at 12%. It is a green metal, so it's in batteries, and it's also what's called connecting ribbon, solar ribbon in solar panels. So it's really a green metal. The price for tin, you can see, has moved quite substantially in the last few years. In October 2020, it was around $15,000 a ton, metric ton. Then it moved in March 2022 to $50,000 a ton. It retracted, of course, for lots of reasons. There was lots of speculation in the market. But recently, it's moved from about $15,000 a ton to about $32,000 a ton. That $28,000 is a couple of days short of being realistic. Supply and demand, you can see the blue is the primary supply, is actually between 2010 and 2030 is going down. Secondary supply from recycling and from secondary metals is actually flat at about 350,000 tons per year to 2030. You can see the mine supply, probable mine supply, is going to go up to 2030 from 2021 to 2030, but the refined consumption is actually outstripping the supply. So we anticipate the price to either stay fairly stable or to rise over the next 5 to 6 years. This is the tin market. The big player in there is Alphamin. Alphamin is about 4% tin. 4% tin is a very high grade, and you can see in the bottom there where it says 2% tin equals about 9.5 grams per ton silver or gold. That's on an equivalent basis. We think we can put ourselves, we're not on this list yet because we're just starting to explore, but we think where Cornish Metals is where we're going to wind up. And if we can make that for our shareholders, we'll certainly add a lot of value. So the first project is the Porvenir project. It's a silver zinc project a zinc silver project, polymetallic in Oruro, 65 kilometers paved road, 15 gravel. It's located in the Bolivian tin belt, and Dawa Metals and Mining in 2005 drilled 88 holes. That's where we get our data from that makes us excited about this project. These pictures are important because these are artisanal workings. In Bolivia, they've been mining in Bolivia since the 1400s. If you find this kind of work, of high-grade work done by artisanals, it allows us to follow structure and allows us to follow the mineralization positioning. So when I worked at New Pacific, we used a lot of artisanal markers to tell us which direction and where to look for this high-grade material. So the Porvenir project is 11.25 kilometers square. Dawa has found they thought 19 veins on the company. We think that we've identified 60 so far. Some of their drilling some of their highlight numbers was 941 grams per ton silver, 6% lead, 28% zinc, 10% tin, which is off the scale, 500 grams per ton indium. The A, B, C, D on this map here shows you the direction of these cross sections. So in these cross sections here, Dawa drilled 88 holes, as we said, but what they didn't do was they didn't complete these holes. These black marks here and you see that these grades are very good grades in terms of percentages of tin. But what they did was they're a zinc company, so they only took when they saw the zinc, when they saw sphalerite or pyrite in the core, they'd take that section of core and they would just sample these little black areas. So those results are only from those black areas. They didn't do, and in these gray areas, there was no sampling. They left us the core. We're resampling that core. We think there's a lot more tin in here, and you can see by the numbers at 2% tin over 15 meters or 5 meters of 3.2% tin. When I said alphamin at 4% was a high grade, we believe we're going to get some high grade hits out of this. Same thing on CD. Again, this gray area has not been sampled, and we're resampling that now. But hole 01 gave us 20 meters of 0.5, including 6 meters of 2.7 and 3 meters of 4.2. And here's an example of what they didn't do. This is a core we just found on the ground. And we picked it up, sent it for sampling. They didn't sample it, they didn't split it and sample it, and we got 0.5% tin over a meter, which shows us again that these guys just did not do the job to give us all the data that we think is there. These are just a picture of the core boxes that are remaining that we're relogging. The SF10 project is at 4,200 meters. It's 2 kilometers square. It's not a very big project, but in area. But we're looking at adding to that by looking at surrounding area. It's 18 kilometers northeast of Porvenir, the one I just showed you, and it's close to the Huanuni mine. The Huanuni mine is the largest cassiterite tin mine in the world, and it's in Bolivia, and I believe it's produced 250,000 tons of tin since its beginning operation in the 1600s. Mining concession, as I said, 2 square kilometers, tin mineralization for 1,000 meters, and we twinned each of these holes. We weren't sure about this project, so we asked the vendor if we could twin the holes. The mineralization is closer to surface. There's already a pit there. There's a pit right here. This is where we actually got they got their first hole. Rio Tinto drilled this, and so that's the first pit. So this is closer to center, closer to the surface, so the grades will be a little lower, but the economics should work out for us. So you can see that in hole 1, we got 236 meters of 0.4% tin, and in hole 2, 180 meters of 0.29. This is the twin hole. They got 200 meters of 0.45 on ESF001. We twinned that hole and got 200 meters of 0.4, so that allowed us to go forward. And there's the open pit right there. So this is very close to surface, and so we're looking at economics here that can make these things work. Even as I said, even though the grade's a little lower, it's closer to surface, so it should be more economic for us. Again, we twinned this hole. Their hole was 180 meters of 0.29, 1% zinc. We got 182 meters of 0.2, 0.9% zinc. Skukum Gold Project was which we started this whole company as the gold project in the Yukon. We're not working that project right now, but it does add most of the value you see in the market to the company. As I said earlier, it's 418 ounces at 8.16 grams per ton in the indicated category, and 517,000 ounces at 5.3 in the inferred category. So one of the things we do have is a proven management team. We've been successful from the get-go. Feng is the lead director here. He is the CEO of Silver Corp. Silver Corp is the overarching owner of a couple of companies, New Pacific Metals being one of those. I was the president of New Pacific Metals under RE, and we built the silver sand deposit from 0 to 171 million ounces of silver in a 4-year period. Took it from $1 to $10. I was the VP of corporate development for Mag Silver. We have and took that from $50 million market cap to $2 billion. And RE has taken Silver Corp from $100 million to a $2 billion market cap company at one time as well. So RE is a serial entrepreneur in mining. He runs my technical team, so I'm very confident that we can what we have at Whitehorse Gold, and we're renaming the company, by the way. It'll be called Tin Corp, which makes more sense for what we're doing, and that'll happen in the next couple of months. But this this group has a history of success and a history of adding value for shareholders and ourselves. I've made a lot of money in this business from Mag Silver, Silver Corp, and New Pacific Metals. And the next entity that I'm going to make some money from is Whitehorse Gold / Tin Corp. Share structure, we're trading at 52 cents, 66 million shares outstanding, 89 fully diluted, market cap 34 million, 1.3 in cash. We just raised $5 million in the marketplace, so we got $6 million in cash. The ownership is Silver Corp owns almost 30%, 12% institutional, insiders 11, 4% Pan American. They got their ownership through owning New Pacific Metals, and 41% retail. I thank you for your time, and I thank you for coming out to VRIC.